Hey yo guys, Hatsujo here. Today I'm gonna share two of my matches in ranked PvP. So the first one is me against Absol here, and the teams here we have me on the left side with pretty much no tanks and no healers, Olandius, Yulia, Elwood, Yusuke, and Zerda, facing against two of these healers, Olandius, Ares AoE, and Delit. So let's just play out the first few actions here and then see what happens. So my opponent very early on whips the Ares. And when you have a whipped Ares, his AoE is most likely going to just demolish entire teams. So really don't want to get hit by this. And what I do here is just drop the field on turn 1, don't hit anybody, but just protect my team from this Ares jump in on turn 1. And that's really all the Olandius is there for. He's gonna cast a 3C, cast the faction buff, and then I don't really care what happens to this Olandius anymore. What happens here is I'm just gonna spread out my entire team so that only one person ever gets hit by the AoE from Ares. So I'm kind of just spreading here. Absol decides to act again, this Olandius, so he can move forward, use 3C if he wants to, eat up some of my field. But here I'm already set up with my first 5 actions. Just spread out, so that Ares can only hit maximum 2 people. And I have this field to protect a number of these blocks from the Ares engage. So it really limits where Ares can hit. So by the end of this turn, he decides to not jump in, though I think he did have the option to. So 1, 2, 3, 4, he had the option to hit the Elwyn if he wanted to. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, hit the Olandius if he wanted to. But just hitting one of these units with Ares AoE plus whip is not going to do quite enough, since my opponent have 2 healers. So there's only 3 DPS units that I really need to worry about. Melda and Liana can't really do any damage. On the other hand, I have 5 damage dealers, minus the Olandius, so you can say about 4 damage dealers here. And most of them can self-heal. Like Olandius can self-heal, Yulia can heal if she hits anyone, Yusuke self-heals with Transform, Zerda can self-heal with her special equipment. I didn't bring her faction buff, which can also self-heal. 3C also self-heals, so Zerda doesn't need any sort of healing, and of course Elwyn self-heals. So I don't need any healers, and I don't really need any tanks here either. So my opponent just moves up the Ares. I have a lot more range now, but still not that great since he can only hit 1 or 2 people at most. So Delit does go in, but against full cavalry Elwyn, the attack does not kill. Now I can just run the Elwyn around and strike into their Olandius. Like, my thought here is, it doesn't really matter if this Elwyn kills or doesn't kill. He lost the attack buff at some point, probably due to Anil's Rope, that dispels. So it doesn't get the kill, but it's okay. I want one of these units dying to the Yusuke here, so I can speed up the Yusuke and then make Yusuke hit harder. So having some of these units die is not a problem. Here I got the Yulia, attack, finish off the Delit. Elwyn takes just a normal melee from Ares, but yeah, not that much damage. Elwyn's still gonna die here from the repeat attacks from the healers. It's okay, so that speeds up my Yusuke. And I also move first here. So I move the Serida in forward, so it's now in range of the Ares. Yusuke is in range of everyone. Yulia is in range to hit the Sage, and my Olandius is just sitting there. Not really gonna do much anymore. So we're gonna take out the Ares first, and that's really all the damage dealer opponent had. Alright, so the other one. So it's pretty good where we break through an opponent's tank here. So in player 1 we have Manson with Illustrio here, Leia, Young Jessica, Elite, and Mario. So a lot of Origin of Light units here. Over here I have a Juggler, Clarett, no faction buffs, Yulia, Elwyn for buffs, and a Elite. So I don't play against Young Jessica a whole lot, so I don't really know what she can do. But we can probably assume that most mages are on the +1 range stick, the Divine Scepter, so she can move 4 blocks. This transform gives her +3 range, and the +1 range stick gives another range, so 1, 2, 3, +1. So I think this Jessica can reach all the way over here, I'm not really sure. But that's what I'm going to play, assuming that her range can reach. So I just stand very far back on the first turn, as you'll see in a moment. My opponent here also playing very passive, not going forward at all. Even spent this heal for not much reason that I can see anyways. Not even moving forward, staying way far back. Can move the Elwyn forward just because it's Elwyn. It's gonna be quite fine. But here you see this Yulia of mine just standing all the way back. I don't want to get hit by anything. I don't really have a good healer other than Delit and Yulia's Gift of Eternal Lives. See? Using guard way back here. Probably like baiting me to go in. They probably know how far Young Jessica can move, can attack. I don't want to deal with any of that. I'm just gonna stand right here with Yulia. So I'll kind of prep to move in with some speed buffs here. Giving both Elwyn and my Juggler +1 mobility. So they do have the range to engage. My opponent here does not actually apply the Gospel to Freya. So I thought this is a pretty good time to jump in with Clarett 3C. Take some damage. It's okay. For combat, dispel. After combat, dispel some more, and also apply 2 very key debuffs. Cannot be buffed, and disables all passives. So Freya needs her passive to guard any sort of attacks. And once those are disabled, and that she cannot apply any more buffs, this Freya cannot guard anything. So Sea of Miracles is used here, but does not act again. Probably used act again on first turn thanks to the Clarett having so much coverage. So I get a free hit here with Elwyn on the backlines. And just take out this Illustrial. Could have also tried to take out the Mario here, since, as you can see, this Mario does a whole lot here. Takes out the Clarett, backs again, and then punches my Elwyn. And the very annoying thing about Mario here is her dispels. This thing pushes and then... oh, well, this doesn't actually dispel, but it's the Mjolnir hammer that dispels one. And just fortunately takes out my attack buff. So when I attack this young Jessica, it doesn't actually kill. Losing that attack buff was pretty key. Also didn't have any sort of grassland or the unicorn buffs. So Elwyn kind of dead there. But they're moved. My opponent moves in such a way that I get this jump in. That allows me to lock down some key units like this mage here. The young Jessica cannot move, so if I just stay out of this young Jessica range, it should be good. So here, I think I can take at least just 1 damage, 1 hit from her, and then still be fine. Now, move forward. I still have a Beast Rock available. My opponent is mostly in the water, can't really move around that much, and then I can just try to block in the fog. Take a whole bunch of damage. Get this hit in, take out the Deedlit. Juggler's still surviving. And then we just run in with the Yulia here. Attack again with Golly Menace, and then this Mario is just locked down with Beast Rock, with Golly Menace. Have to act again in the fog. Alright, so those are 2 matches. Playing with no tanks, no healers, and another one with Clarett disabling the tank. And then just going in with everyone else, taking out everyone else except the tank first. Alright, that's all for now. I'll see you guys next time.